Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I shouldn't have started the stream yet. I've got some terrible lag on the video, which means your audio and video won't line up, and I'm sorry about that, but it's too late. I already started the stream. Although we can go in here real quick. While things are getting going, I can actually come in here, change the settings on the video so it won't automatically bail out. Your channel. And live, there we go. This one right here. Settings. No, I guess I have to go in this way. Go live. Manage. Playing, yeah, playing with. Playing with. By the way, if you're actually there, you can hop over. Don't go away, but go get on the comments. We got a link to the blog showing yesterday's fun, or the results. So you can check that out. Stream settings. There we go. We're going to disable auto stop, at least for the moment. And then I think I have to click save somewhere. I don't see it. Okay. Well, let's switch over to this. Please stand by, and we'll be right back. And I should be back for all of you watching in post. That wasn't a long break, but if you're actually here, that took a minute. Sorry about that. You're not here though, because I can see I'm the only viewer. All right, moving on. That did its job. We'll leave this set just like it is. We'll pull this out into its own tab so we're not constantly pulling it up. Minimize it up there in the corner if I never need to look at it. It's there. Okay. What are we going to have ChatGPT do today? I was going to do a little prep work on this, and I didn't. I'm sorry about that. So we're going to start with our story from yesterday. And if you'll oblige me, I'll just run through that real quick just because we're here. So yesterday, we got ChatGPT to write a story and then make a carousel to put it in so we could, and illustrate it and then make a carousel to put it all in. So each page is an illustration with some text here. So Maria and the White Horse, story and art by ChatGPT, edited by Joel Cook. So here's the story. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of the countryside, there lived a young girl named Maria. She was known throughout the village for her kind heart and her love of animals, and she spent her days tending to the sheep and goats that roamed the hills around her home. One day Maria was out walking in the hills when she stumbled upon a beautiful white horse that had been caught in a thorny bush. Maria quickly worked to free the horse and gently calmed it down. She was amazed by the horse's gentle spirit and quickly realized that it was no ordinary horse. It was a magical unicorn. The unicorn, whom Maria named Snowdrop, thanked her for saving her and offered to grant her one wish in return. Maria thought long and hard before finally deciding on her wish. She asked Snowdrop to help her build a sanctuary for all the animals in the village, where they could live in peace and safety. Snowdrop was happy to grant Maria's wish and used her magic to help her gather the materials and build the sanctuary. When it was finished, Maria filled it with all the animals from the village. And they made sure they were well taken care of. The people of the village were amazed by Maria's kind heart and her love for animals, and they came from far and wide to visit the sanctuary and learn from her. And Maria lived happily ever after, surrounded by the animals she loved and protected. And that, my friends, is the story of Maria and the White Horse, as written and illustrated, as told and illustrated by ChatGPT. Okay, now, what I wanted to point out, the reason I pulled all this up, is the carousel here has some issues. This image is not centered. It's off to one side. It's underneath the arrow. And it doesn't show the rest of the carousel. as ChatGPT wanted it to be. Let's pull this out where I can. It just doesn't work. I mean, it carousels. Yeah, it does. But it carousels, but it's carousels everything off the page, disappears it into oblivion. So that doesn't work. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this, call it just carousel, delete all the non-carousel related code out of it. So we just have a carousel with a couple entries and get ChatGPT to fix it. At least that's the plan. So we're going to say new copy. Oh. And then we're going to close this and not save changes. And we're going to save this as, go up to today and call this AR OUSEL .html. So the goal today, that just gives me good text highlighting. My goal for today is going to be to get ChatGPT to make the carousel work properly. So what we're going to do, we're just going to delete this much. So we just have the divs with a little text in them. Just so we can see which div we're on. Make sure it's working more or less correctly, and that should be plenty of divs. So now let's come down here. We've got, well, let's get one more carousel item. Oh, look, we got an extra thing there. Does that, like, you'd be surprised how something like that can mess it up. No, that wasn't the problem. Okay, close that. Pull this back up. Now we're just going to delete everything all the way down to the end of here. That div. And now this should be small enough I can actually set up hierarchies properly. So we have this div. This div. Does this do, no. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. There we go. 2, 3, 4. Just quick. I need to find a text editor that works roughly like my wonderful companion. My favorite text editor to use. Now, is this right? I think this is right. Save that. Let's pull it up in here and see what happens. Once upon a time, boom, it shows up. Okay, so now we're going to paste this code into ChatGPT. So I need to pull up ChatGPT. Make that a little bigger so you guys can see it. We're going to paste this in and say, go to the top of it and say, take out, we'll leave it. Prove the code. Uh-oh. It's slammed already. Reset the thread. Good morning. And off the bat, ChatGPT isn't working. Why are you all, you get up, I was like 9 a.m. The further west you go, the later it's going to be. The other side of the world, it's different times. I don't know, is this all the European traffic? Or is everybody at work messing up or using ChatGPT? I'd be interested to see where their traffic's coming from this time of day. It looks like I can't do the video. I'm just going to have to troubleshoot it on my own. Use the good old Google. So this is changing from doing stuff with ChatGPT to fixing stuff ChatGPT did last night. And we're going to have to do our live streams at night because that's the only time I can get it to consistently work. The carousel. Rotates this. Hey, it's working. Carousel, let's be done using it. Element. Next. Hey, this is going to make me a full-on website if it goes so far enough. See if it actually works. I love it when it gives this kind of output. It's like, first do this, then do this, then do this. And usually when it does this, it's also going to give you, now this is what it all looks like together. If it doesn't lose its train of thought, which it just lost its train of thought. We can try to give it a continue. Let's see if that works. Ooh, have a set interval method. Okay, so it didn't give me the combined web page, but that's okay. So this broke, not that, this broke in the middle of carousel, this section. So here's our HTML, here's our JavaScript. And this one doesn't use any okay, they haven't built the web page. We can build this into a web page. We can say is that right? I'll know soon enough. I guess I don't need that doc type HTML. I'm gonna say this is HTML, and I can say the head that we aren't gonna actually use, and that body, and we'll have script. And another script. And we will stick or a closing tag for the script. And all we have to do now is copy this code. Is there any CSS in here? Did not use any CSS. So oh no, there's a CSS. Okay. So we just have to throw that into style tags. Okay, and then up here might as well do it in the head. Style. Give ourselves our style tags. And copy the style code. Save. Carousel. Call this new carousel. And then we'll just open up our new carousel. Hey, it doesn't work. Okay. Let's act shocked and amazed that carousel did not work. So we have a carousel. Yeah, I didn't think it would work. Let's reset the thread. Would you modify this code? To make the carousel work better. I don't know if it's too long of input. Title. We're going to get rid of all this. Just going to have the style section. There we are. Okay. Cool. Sure, here's an example. It's like it's going to try to rewrite the whole thing, and as long as maybe having the whole thing in the thread all together will help it actually. Oh, it didn't make it. Oh, I have a child who wants my attention. I'll be back. Okay, error occurred. Try again. Like you just gotta keep trying until you get a process again. I think that's what it is. I'm away for too long, so it gives away my process. My thread. Okay, function works. A slideshow where the series of elements are displayed one at a time and the user can navigate through them by clicking next and previous buttons. Function works by first finding the currently active slide, which is indicated by the current slide class on the HTML element. It does this by using query selector method to find the first element that matches the current slide selector within the carousel element. Next, the function finds the next slide by using next element sibling property of the current slide element. This property returns the next sibling element of the current element in the DOM or null if there is no next element. Then the function determines the current and next slide indicates by using the index of method and the array prototype method of the array.prototype, which is used to find the index of the current slide element in the array of all carousel items. The next slide index is simply the current index plus 1. Finally, the next slide exits and is not the last slide. It exists and is not the last slide. The function updates the carousel inner element by setting its transform style property to move it to the next slide using the next slide index to determine the new position. It then updates the current slide class on the current slide and the next slide elements to reflect the change in the active slide. Okay. I think it's more confused than I am. Not really. So what we're looking at, it finds the current slide and the next slide. Yeah, if the next slide and the next index don't equal the length, then carousel inner dot style transform current slide next slide dot class add current slide. Okay. So it's this right here. What exactly? It's a nice verbose explanation of what the general function does, but I don't want to know what the function does. I want to know what this line is carousel inner dot style dot transform equals translate x next index times negative 100. So negative position of the next index plus. I just don't understand what it's doing. Is it moving the whole carousel? Yes. So we have a carousel inner. We're shifting over. But why are we multiplying it by 100? And then why are we 100% minus 100? So negative 100%. Okay. Distance equal to the width of a single slide. The distance is calculated by multiplying the next index by minus 100, which is a negative of the slide width expressed as a percentage. That assumes all the slides are 100 wide, right? This is the index, not the width of the index. So if the width of a single slide is 100 pixels and the next slide is 2, then the transform property will set it to translate x minus 200, which means the carousel inner will be moved 200 pixels to the left, showing the second slide. The width of a single slide is 100 pixels and the index is 2, but the slides aren't all the same size. And so it's assuming a slide is 100 pixels wide, but this is not actually working correctly anyway. So assuming a slide, so I'm gonna have to actually like get the width or the position. Yeah. All right. I've got some ideas. We'll come back to this. Sorry, I forgot to unmute again. Okay, so I think I found the problem, more or less. This was set to have to not display the other elements, which is fine. Um, let's put that one down there just for consistency's sake. Okay. So we're going to translate x, but by not the way that this is done. So we're going to say not as a percent. Next slide dot width divided by 2 plus current slide dot divided by 2. So next slide should, well, it's actually going to be negative next slide. There we go. We'll just negate all that. And then in this other one, oh, pixels. Pixels, not percent. And then, okay. Does that fix our carousel? It doesn't break everything anymore. It's just completely broken. I think we don't want them flexed. Okay, they're not flexed. Okay. Any more ideas? Do that. Hmm. I don't understand. Do you? Okay. Scared to sell. I feel like these guys should be inside the carousel. Probably not, but I feel like that's how I would structure it. Yeah, that one just doesn't work. We're going to close that. I'm not even going to. It's ugly, okay? I just don't want to mess with it. I guess we can just ask Chat GPT about how do I get an of a div using offset width property of the div element turns the width of the element including its padding in border pixels. Div width equals my div dot offset width. Offset width. Interesting. Sure. Why not? Pretty sure both are valid. Point zero. Sometimes you gotta explicitly do things like this because JavaScript. I mean, it's not running off the page, so there's that. Yeah, unfortunately, this is really not my forte, if you will. Once upon a time. All right, all I have to do is solve this. Might need to throw in some more divs. We'll just, yeah, throw in 3 more. Six more. It's just making them all fit because they're flexed. And the flex is, it's quite a flex, man. It's quite a flex. Carousel inner is flexed. I believe that's what's doing us. Carousel item. We unflex that. Okay, we want it. We want it. Do we want it flexed or do we want it floated? Whoa. Um, it's not flex. Grid. I don't know how to use grids. It's outside my wheelhouse. Okay. How? What is wrong here? I should rename this debugging ChatGPT's code. Um, I mean, flex sort of worked. Okay, so they're all should make each item 100%. No, his flex is making them all fit on the page. I want to. Okay, this is hard coded. It's the wrong way to do it. We'll we'll leave that there. It didn't seem to do anything. Um, display flex transition line item center equals or colon 100%. So now it's 8 times wider than the page. So now, nope, that doesn't work. I was hoping if I made it 8 times wider than the page, it would then flex out to where it needs to be, or Why? I hate CSS. Not really, but kinda. Okay. It's like I just understand it just enough to figure it out eventually. Justify content center, display, flex. I don't want this to flex. I just want them to be in line. The inline? Is that the word I'm looking for? No. Oh, not there anyway. It would be so if we make that a block, just experimenting. I didn't put flex back on, did I? No, I made it a block. Okay, that's not working either. Stop pulling that up. I want this one. Okay, go away. I want this. Carousel. Okay, display flex overflow x hidden position relative. So then we have this thing. Line items to center. Carousel item. Display flex position relative left. This is all the same. Originally, I believe all this had was a width and a height of 100%. But we done something. And this is basically what I was doing. You had them all crammed down, and then when you scroll, send them all off. That's the problem, is it's displaying it as a flex. And I need it to just show them in a row, one after the other. Only allowed to be Okay. How can I get a div to all the sided a line sound wrapping? To get a div to stack its child elements in a single line without wrapping, you use white space value no wrap. That's not quite what I meant. Yeah. Inline block. In addition to this, you can also use display property with the value inline block for the child elements. This will cause the child elements to display in a single line without breaking to a new line unless there is not enough space in the parent container. Display inline block. That, I think, is what we're supposed to have in here. Does that fix it? No, because it's still flexed. Um, yeah, it is still flexed. It is still not the width. I don't want it to be flex. Yeah, we just, what if we just take off the display property on the carousel inner? Well, I told you, I think maybe I need to use that no wrap property that it said about div wrapping of the child elements of a div. Okay, so let's try throw that in carousel inner. This doesn't seem like the right thing to use, but hey. No, they're still wrapping. Okay, that didn't work. By the way, if you're watching, if you know how to fix this, feel free to let me know. I just want them all to be there. I could also make a previous element in the next previous element, and I could like tag a previous element in the next element, and then I could just show those three and hide everything else. How do I make a div overflow its contents instead of wrapping? I think I just turn overflow and say no, say overflow. Overflow part of div. A value other than wrap or normal. Here's an example. Overflow scroll. Let's try that. Carousel inner. Overflow. Okay. And it's just like a random width, huh? Okay, overflow. Auto. In most cases, they cause the contents to be hidden or displayed. We'll say auto. See what that does. It's probably what it does by default. Then I'll save, or does auto just make it scroll? Ah. The chance it's upset about this. Okay. It's better that way. Ah. Previous line should translate it that way. So. Okay, back up here. Play column. I only want to see 3, right? And I want those to go out. I want to shift over there, and then I want to see. So I guess I want to be able to see 4 at a time. I want to see this, previous, next, and then when it's shifting, I need to be able to see the one it's shifting to. So we need to turn that on, shift it over, turn that off. And I probably need to jump it back over without animating. Is that doable? Did they make a function for translate exit? Is that just part of... Yeah, it's just part of JavaScript, I guess. Carousel style. Slate X, 0%. Do the first item. Well, that's poorly thought out. We're just gonna do away with all those. Because we can do that. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. I'm probably an idiot. Try something. The other option is we just keep telling it to make us one until it makes us one that works. See how ChatGPT is working. Because I can just come up here. Nope. I need a Need a carousel. Yeah, uh-huh. Okay, let's try that. Copy the code. Let's open Dolphin. Whoops, let's open that in here. There we go. Save. Nice carousel. Let's look at the code and make sure there's no glaring issues. Like, did it just give me one image? Give me 3 images. It didn't add any controls. We're gonna rewrite the whole thing. We added carousel controllers. Oh, it didn't finish. We'll try again. I mean, it looked like it was probably going to work. I think I saw the bits that would make up a control. This is what we're supposed to be doing anyway. Just making it either fix it or... I was kind of hoping it would just give me the additions to add, you know. Okay, continue. I don't like using continue, but hey, it looks like I got all the JavaScript this time, so that's a good thing. Now let's see if it works. We have 3 images. I don't see any controls. This one. Ah. Style should go before the place it's used, right? This doesn't matter. Okay, that doesn't work. Auto rotates, S controls, progress indicator. Well, that's no fun. Try again. I don't want you to give me a library. I want you to give me code. I know somebody on a forum once said, use this, but that's no fun. There are several options. No, no, no. I don't want to use a plug. I just want to. From scratch. Did I ask you? Okay. What does the code look like? And you're getting overloaded again. And maybe not. Okay. I gotta stop this. It's an addiction. It's been fun. I've got to run. Catch you next time.